Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my January 2019 book haul. So last month, when I sat down to do my December 2018 book haul, I realized with a little bit of embarrassment that I didn't really meet the goal that I tentatively set for myself, where I was hoping to offset book buying and other permanent acquiring of books with library hauls, or at least make them even or something, but at the end of the year I ended up only hauling 19 library books, where I hauled over 50 books that I added more permanently to my collection. But I think I'm starting off this month on the right foot, or at least on an even foot, because I have 2 books that I bought and 2 books that I got from the library. So I'll start with the books I got from the library. This is a short story collection, The Best Place on Earth by Ayelet Sabari. Ayelet Sabari is a Yemeni-Israeli writer who is currently living in Canada, and I am reading this book along with my book club that's meeting in a couple of days, or actually I'm rereading this book, which is really exciting for me because it's been a long time since I've reread an entire book, and I'm still a little antsy about it, even because, you know, there's so many books out there to read. I mean, I've been making TBR videos all month. But at the same time, I've wanted to embrace that feeling of rereading something you love and getting something new out of it. Although for me, this book, which I read and reviewed and loved for the Sammy Rohr Prize a few years ago, I think it's really that I'm re-remembering the stories, which is really exciting for me because I have problems remembering short stories, particularly when they're in a collection all written by one author. But as I'm rereading these stories, I'm remembering a lot of them, and they're really good. I really don't think I dislike any of them at all. There's no duds. I'm really loving it. I can't wait for the discussion with my book club. This next library book I intend to pick up once I finish this short story collection. This is Sugar Run by Mesha Marin. It's a debut literary fiction novel that I put on my anticipated reads of 2019 list, and I will read from the flap. In 1989, Jody McCarthy is 17 years old when she's sentenced to life in prison. When she's released 18 years later, she finds herself at a Greyhound bus stop, reeling from the shock of unexpected freedom, but determined to chart a better course for herself. Not yet able to return to her lost home in the Appalachian Mountains, she heads south in search of someone she's left behind, as a way of finally making amends. There, she meets and falls in love with Miranda, a troubled young mother living in a motel room with her children. Together, they head toward what they hope will be a fresh start. But what do you do with your past, and with a town and a family that refuses to forget or to change? Set within the charged insularity of rural West Virginia, Mesha Marin's Sugar Run is a searing and gritty debut about making a break for another life, the use and treachery of makeshift families, and how, no matter the distance we think we've traveled from the mistakes we've made, too often we find ourselves standing in precisely the same place we began. And that final few sentences really seals the deal for me. Those are the types of emotions and problems I love to tread upon myself, especially in fiction. And also, I'm realizing that I can probably use this book in the Reading Women Challenge for this year, because we have to read one that's set in Appalachia. And now on to the books that I bought, and I feel very justified about them, just saying. This one is by a friend of mine. It's called The Map, a 10-minute-a-day journal by my friend Claudia. It is the 3rd book in that many months that I've gotten that she's written. Well, this one she's written entirely on her own, and I also have 2 books where she has published a short story and an essay. And so she's really raking it out. I'm so proud of her. And this book is really instructional. It's a journal about how to pursue and carve out a 10-minute-a-day structure for achieving an artistic goal. And for her, it's writing, and for me, it's also writing. And there's worksheets to fill out in here, and I'm very excited to give it a go. I do quarterly writing wrap-up videos, so that'll be a great time to talk about how this book goes. And finally, again returning to my most anticipated releases of 2019, I have a YA epic fantasy. This is Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer. This is her sophomore novel. I also read and loved her debut novel, Beneath the Haunting Sea. I did know Joanna, not incredibly well, but somewhat well through a NaNoWriMo Vidler group that we were part of several years ago. And this is also a fairy tale retelling, so I'm excited for that too, and I will read from the flap. Echo Alcaeve's safe and carefully structured world falls apart when her father leaves for the city and mysteriously disappears. Believing he is lost forever, Echo is shocked to find him half frozen in the winter forest 6 months later, guarded by a strange talking wolf, the same creature who attacked her as a child. The wolf presents Echo with an ultimatum. If she lives with him for 1 year, he will ensure her father makes it home safely. But there is more to the wolf than Echo realizes. In his enchanted house beneath a mountain, each room must be sewn together to keep the home from unraveling, and something new and dark and strange lies behind every door. When centuries-old secrets unfold, Echo discovers a magical library full of books turned mirrors, and a young man named Hal who is trapped inside of them. As the year ticks by, the room begins to disappear, and Echo must solve the mystery of the wolf's enchantment before her time is up. Otherwise, Echo, the wolf, and Hal will be lost forever. Ooh. Also, to put it out there, Joanna lives in Arizona, and I live in the D.C. area. So, that doesn't usually mean that I could get a signed and personalized book, but thank goodness for social media where it's possible to sort of trick the system in a way. Because since I pre-ordered this book, she sent me a few goodies. I have here a signed book plate. This is a compass sticker, and this is a bookmark, and of course this is the book. So huzzah! My first signed book of 2019! I did a whole video of my favorite signed books that I've acquired over the years, so I will link that video down below. So that about covers it for me now. This is my second time filming this video, which seems to be becoming a uncomfortable trend for me. Especially this one I don't like because this was a technological problem and I don't like my technology having problems. But I did have a semi-productive, or I guess really productive day today in terms of writing. I went through several chapters of my novella. I printed them out and I marked them up as such. I think that makes it easier for me to attack the over-drama, over-narrative problems that I had with my last draft. It's like I'm tricking myself into believing I don't have to change the actual Word document, or maybe I'm just doing a step-by-step program to ultimately get there. So I hope you're also having a productive weekend with your reading or your writing or whatever you're up to. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.